Hi scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott, and sometimes, as you may know, I like to challenge myself to do something new in scrapbooking to keep my interest alive. And so one of the things I thought I would start doing is to make a kit based on the lessons over at Get It Scrapped. And so this is Masterful Scrapbook Designs product play, and my jumping off point is a page by Celeste Smith, and I don't necessarily follow all of the things in her page, but one of the items in her page is a large embellishment. So this is going to be my large embellishment, and that's kind of my jumping off place. And then I'll just go through the kit with you, and then what I plan to do is, this is kind of a smaller kit, is I will not just make one page with this, but make 3 pages with this same kit. So before I get too ahead of myself, I am just going to go ahead and with my iPhone take a picture of the kit, okay? Just so I remember exactly what I started with. Okay, so I have a picture of the kit, and now I'll just go through and show you. And what I may do too is add in white cardstock and stuff like that. So the first thing I have is some glimmer mist, because she has some speckles on her page. And then I have this large embellishment. This is a whale that I cut with the silhouette. On her page she has like a peacock feather, but I'm going to use a whale instead of a peacock feather. And then the next thing she had was on her page is she's got a whole bunch of layered pieces of paper underneath her photo. So I just grabbed all of these all of these 6x6 papers from just a couple of 6x6 pads. One was Cosmo Cricut, another was Basic Gray, and then the other one was Seven Gypsies. So I've got a map, just some cream, blue, a light blue, like tone-on-tone design. I've got these contrasting red. So most of my kit is going to be neutrals and it's like some older looking stuff. And I've been doing a lot of older ancestry and genealogy scrapbooking lately, so there we go. Just like, I don't know, 10 pieces of 6x6 paper. I grabbed some buttons. These are, I don't know where they're from, but anyways, just some little buttons to use as embellishments. That's going to be easy enough. So I have maybe about 10 buttons. And then I have this pack from Cosmo Cricut of brads that are covered in canvas with little icons on them. And then I even picked a couple of photos, and these are the photos that I'm going to use for my page. And so her page was a 1 photo page. My page is going to be a 2 photo page, and that's the first page so that's page number 1, but I will be making 3 pages with this same basic kit. Okay, and then I chose, this is kind of the first thing that I chose, and I thought, let's go with this yellow and blue and gray and brown color scheme. It seems good for my subject matter, and basically what my subject matter is I brought my daughter to the Whaling Museum in New Bedford, Massachusetts, where I spent a lot of time when I was a kid, and she had the same thought that I had walking through the museum, because some of the museum is really like the skeleton of the whale, and this is how the whale looks, and this is all about the whale. And then the other part of it was like, kill the whale. And so halfway through she's like, I don't really understand. Are we celebrating the whalers? Like, weren't they killing the whales, and isn't that something we don't agree with? And I remember having that same notion as a kid. Like, I liked going to the museum because I liked going with my grandfather, but I also felt a little conflicted about it because it just felt like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? So that's going to be my first page. And so I picked out the photos to go with it. And then I just tried to grab some letter stickers. These are basic gray, and I think they'll work well color-wise with those. And this is a cut-apart sheet, but I picked it basically for this here. Some of the other colors don't really go as well, but I also love the texture of that. Just by the way, this is collectible by Jen Allison by My Mind's Eye. Oh yes, really nice. The next one is Studio Calico, and this is just a grid, and I like to use grids on my pages. And then this is half of a sheet, a leftover sheet, but this includes that gray and yellow color scheme, as does this one, which I think is also Studio Calico. And then this, I think, is a die cuts with a view piece of paper, and it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it has some sparkle to it. So that is my kit, and we'll get started. I'm just going to pause for a second, and then I'll be back, and then we'll get started making the number 1 page, and then we'll make 2 more pages with the same kit. Okay, ready? Let's go. Hey, scrapbookers. Okay, so the basic layout of this page is, oh, I should have had something ready, but I don't. Okay. But I'm going to just draw out the basic layout of that page. And sorry, I should have put more thought into this. Okay. But this is the nature of my videos. I just press play. So we're going to have a hard line here, and then a little bit of doodad up here. So that's the top border. This is like a band, and then some patterned paper, and then most of her page is white, and then we've got this huge like stack of, you know, all these different pattern papers coming out, and then her photo is going to be right here, and she's got like an embellishment here, and then the big like peacock feather is here. So we're not doing that. We're going to do something different with her. And then she's got a couple more embellishments over here, and not really a title. I mean, the title maybe in hers is right here, and then she's got text under this. And she's got a couple of those, you know, the misty things there. So let's get started, and I am going to be using this grid paper as my base paper. So let me just cut that up. Okay. Ta-da. Pretty easy, right? And now the next thing I need to do is kind of figure out how big or small this band is going to be. And I want to use 2 photos. So that's not something that she does. She's much better at, what does she call it? She calls it patterned layer clean. And so and she's good at using a lot of white space, which I, admittedly and unashamed, am not as great at that. So my photo is going to be kind of like this. Maybe like this. So I want to bring in this concept of the Whaling Museum, and how that feels a little conflicted, you know. So my embellishment, I think, will go here, and there we go, with something up here. So let's do nothing above this line, because that will be the line for, so I'm maybe about 1.5 inches at the top for that border. So what I need to do, why I care about that, is I want to figure out where is this glimmer mist going, and it's basically going to go here and here. So let's get started with that before we go further. Okay, and I'll just put that underneath, because I'm not the neatest at, okay, let's lay those out again. So this and this. So the places where I really want my we're here and here with, what do you call that? When you go like, you take your Glimmer Mist, right? And you go, I don't know what you call that. There must be a technical term for it. And so this will just kind of add a little interest down here, but I don't really want it all over the rest of my stuff. I already feel like this is too much. And so this is very imprecise science. I think Celeste's pages now are digital, so she can be much more precise with this kind of thing. And let's add in one more color. So this was Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist Woven Burlap. And I'm going to add in some blue. This is Maya Mist Turquoise Metallic. And we'll just add in a little bit. And that's not misted there, but is that working? It doesn't seem like it's working. There we go. So if you're not comfortable with doing this little technique, which has been around for a while now in scrapbooking, but I haven't really bonded with it, this is a good way to do it, is to start, you know, to do this first on your page so that you, you're not messing up the rest of it. So if you feel like, oh, I just hate the way that turned out, you can just scrap this and then go on. I don't hate the way it turned out, I don't think. I think it's probably good. Let me see if I have one more color I'm going to add in there. I'm thinking if I had like a yellow color, because I don't know if I have, well, this is called Manila. Let's see what this looks like. I don't know if that helped or not. But there you go, a little bit more. So it's obvious later on that I did do this because I'm going to cover a lot of this up. But I'm just going to set this to the side for now, and then we're going to do some trimming of those photos, and I'm going to start building my layers separate from the page, okay? So let's bring in those photos, and I'll mention again that Celeste just used one photo, and that is a great way to go. But I kind of always like to add in as much as I can. So I've got these two photos. No, they're not the same size. Yes, I could trim that down a little bit more, but I'm just not going to. So let's pick some background layers. So here's one. And this, if you watched my last video, this isn't one from what I had showed you, so sorry. But it was just in my scrap pile. It's nothing like earth-shattering there, okay? So I'm thinking that looks good. And I'm also thinking now, I probably want to back those photos with some white. So let us do that. So I scrap in real time, which means that I plan a little bit, but not too much. So you're going to see a lot of times where I am going to look for more things. And while that seems like, oh, well, that's annoying, because maybe it is, the way I like to tell you to think about that is that you, while I was over there in my scrap bin, I just picked up a few more. So let's just trim this photo down just a little bit so it's going to fit on my white border here. I feel like this isn't perfectly straight. I'm going to cut out a little bit more of that sky. Okay. So now we have a nice border around that photo. And that's just going to help the photo stand out a little bit more. So the photo was taken not at the museum, but on the ferry ride over to Martha's Vineyard, and she kind of looks like, you know, she's not hamming it up with a smile. She looks a little bit serious. And that was the tone that I wanted. I wanted a more serious tone. Okay. I need to just trim this up a little bit more. And here we go. So I encourage you to be scrapbooking or crafting along with me as I'm making the project, so that you're just probably glancing up now and then at what I'm doing and not just sitting and watching. Although you can do that too. I had someone tell me recently she was in the hospital and she watched the videos, and it was a nice way to pass the time. So I'm happy to be that for you too. Okay, so here we go with the two photos. And so this is a statue that's in New Bedford, but it's also a like bookends that we have more than one set of those in my family. I don't own any, but my mother and my aunt have some, and they're just something that I kind of associate with my family. So there's that one. And now, see, and I keep thinking maybe I should do it this way. I don't know. I might, actually. I might. Okay. So now we're just going to build up the photos over this I don't know if I like that after all. So let's do it this way. So I'm just going to count the layers, and if you have access to the Get It Scrapped product play, you can see the layout by Celeste Smith. Otherwise, I think you're just going to have to go with this is what it looks like, but hers looks much better than that. Okay, so she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 layers there, okay? So I am just going to try to see about adding in some layers. And I think that her layers are probably quite carefully chosen, and mine probably will not be as chosen as hers. Because she's like the master, you know. She is. The layering, the little layering bits, she's really, I think she's perfected that over time. And I have not. So I just want to line those up to make sure they're kind of lining up the same. Okay, so we're having some layers started, and let's just keep going with these little Now this was one question I had, is whether to use this red or not, and I think I like it. I do. I think I do. So I'm just going to cut that. And what I'm doing is just a little bit of adhesive on the backs as I build this up. And what I need to be mindful of is how big I'm getting. So like with this. So that's almost 12. That's probably like too wide, but oh well. You know, we each have our own styles, and my style is going to be like much more cluttery than Celeste's. So let's do it like this. And yes, now we are missing some in the middle, so let's cut a little bit to go underneath that hole. Oh, I can just use these lines. Why haven't I ever thought of that before? That's a good idea, huh? So there's probably, whoops, I didn't put any adhesive on that. That would help. Oh, I put it on the back. Hello. Okay. So let's line these up. And here we go. I think that's lining up pretty well. What I want to do here is just line it up so it looks like that red has gone all the way through, so you can see it through that hole. I think that looks fine. Okay. We need more layers. That's what we need. I think that's pretty straight. I think I made it not so straight. Hold on. So when you're doing these little cheats and the paper doesn't actually go all the way through, you just want to make sure that you are lining it up straight so it's going to not bother your eye later. Like your eye will go, there's a little something off there. Okay. So here we are. And now let's bring it back in the piece of paper. So I think that's pretty dry by now. And here we are. Oh, and there's, of course, my door.
What are these?
And I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and had to explain why I ordered a bunch of caps. You know, like cap gun caps. Anyways, okay, so here is the whale. And I might be covering up that part anyways, but let's just see. I don't know. So I'm thinking, oh no, I've smudged it. See, that's why you shouldn't go too fast. So maybe we move this over to cover up the smudge. Yeah? We might do that. Yep. Okay. How disappointing. I did that. That was my fault. Okay, but I do actually have to go do an errand. So what I'm going to do before I leave is I'm going to do some, to see how we can fix this. It's awfully close to the edge, so we could, that was so unfortunate. Okay, so maybe this just like slides over this way, all the way, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I'm really conflicted now. And then we've got this bit at the top, which Celeste has used like a real pretty kind of this kind of a color. Let's try that. I'm just cutting about an inch, maybe slightly more than an inch. And that's going to go up here, but we're going to put some more things on top of it. Oh, I'm really unhappy about this here, but maybe I can cover that up somehow. With the whale? No. Oh, darn it. Okay, this is not her sketch. So let's try some other things. What if we did it, covered up the smudge, did it like this? I don't know. Or if we put this onto the side. I kind of like that a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, so this page is actually going to probably become quite different than hers, but it's still a nice place to have a starting off point. but I think I need more of this splattery stuff up here in this area. So even though I've kind of totally messed that up, I'm just going to go ahead and do some more splatters up in that area. So let's remember what we used before. So more. And that's just a good lesson that give your splattery things a lot of time to dry. Okay? So you don't make the same dumb mistakes as I do. Here we go. I don't know if there's any other way to really fix that. Just trying to think of how I would do that. So I feel like now there's a whole lot more splatters up here than down here. So just let's add a few more down here. So there's this thing in improvisational comedy called piling it on, or like fully committing. So I feel like I'm fully committing to all the splatters craziness. I don't usually do a lot of that splatter, but it's good to experiment from time to time. Okay, I'm gonna go do some errands. I'll be back. Hi scrapbookers. So I'm back. I did some errands and now I'm back, and woohoo! Let's get on with the scrapbooking. So, are we still? Yeah. I still kind of want to follow the example, which had this border up at the top. Remember, I made this little goof, and I want to cover that up. Let's just try a couple more things. One would be this way, and then another would be to put it at the bottom. And I think that could be totally possible. Okay, so we'd just be flipping this up on its head, kind of. And I don't mind that. Although I think Celeste Smith would tell you that when you have this upward diagonal, it like makes her crazy somehow. Maybe we shouldn't make her crazy. Okay, let's try this way. Because see, I'm still trying to cover up this little blemish there, the goof that I did. So this would be another way to do that. Okay. And she had her big embellishment at the bottom. And mine is a whale, and I'm thinking maybe I want to have that down below instead of up at the top. And this is where, if you're sketching or scrap lifting, it's really just fine to kind of, and we could also just put it over, like kind of pop dot it up and put it over the photo. I'm okay with that too. Okay, let's keep going. And so, let's see what we had set aside. So the next, let's see. The next idea, I'm really a little bit bummed about this because I really did want it up at the top like that. I think I'm going to do that, and I know Celeste, I don't think she likes this diagonal. I don't know why exactly, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't like that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways, because this is going to give me a space to write down here. And I do think I like the whale here, but I think I definitely want it on pop dots, and I'm wondering if I should edge it or just leave it clean. And I think I want to leave it clean. I think I do. Okay. So then we would have embellishments kind of here, right? Here, somewhere over here. And then maybe here, because she had her little embellishment cluster on this side, but that's when the splatter was going to go that way. So maybe we'll put it over here. Yes. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's get some of this tape down and add some doodads here and there. So here's like a border thing at the top. And why do we want that? I don't know. It just looks really cool, right? It does. There's a little thing, and she's got two things that kind of come off of that. So I am thinking she's got one that kind of goes diagonal. Do I want that to be yellow? I don't think so. Do I want it to be like this? I don't think so. Let me just look at some more options. No, no. Okay, so I'm not finding anything in the bits that I pulled for this. Grr. But let me just, I do have a stack of like paper strips that I keep, and let's just look into those and see if there's, so I keep this little tray of very short kind of, I think this is going to work. Just some of these are borders and some of them are just strips of pattern paper that I just couldn't bear to throw away, right? We all have those. Okay, so let's see how, I think these reds are going to work really well in combination. And so, what do I want to do here? So I want to cut this on like a diagonal with like Celeste, because we're scrap lifting Celeste here. So do I want it to go like that, or like this, or like this? Okay, I think I like it like this, and I'm just going to move this part down just a little bit. So this thing at the top on mine is probably going to be much larger than hers. Whoops, I should have done it like this. And I'm going to slide this part under and try to get that as even as I can. Yeah, I'm thinking this is not Celeste's work. This needs to be like a smaller, I think. This needs to be less. So let's just move this up just a little bit, and then we'll trim. And this little sheet I think is too long, so we'll trim that up, and then this we're just going to trim. So this is intentionally wonky. Okay. And now I want to put something over, like maybe washi tape, over this whole strip. So just look at kind of some of the border things I have going on here. Like I could, you could use like these are cardstock stickers that kind of go across the whole page. Let's just see how that looks. I don't mind that. I don't know. Is it weird? It's a little weird. Let's see what else we can see. Here's one that would bring in the blue, except I don't have the whole thing. Here's a smaller detail, or smaller border. I think I might like that a little bit better. Whoops, I'm destroying this as I'm taking it off. Not good. Okay. Let's try this smaller one. I don't know. I don't think I like that either. I think I want to bring something in that will include the white, that stark white of this whale. So let me just look one more time and see if there's anything. I kind of like that. It's a Heidi Swap. It's a Heidi Swap thing, but I don't want to really use that. But I do like these stars. I think the stars work really nice up there. So we'll cut those out, and then still looking for something else. No. Let me see. This is just blue. I think that could work. No. How do we like that? We don't like that, do we? Do we? Let's just put it down. Let's not worry about it anymore. So sometimes I think we overthink things in scrapbooking. I certainly do. I know that I do. And I think there's a certain benefit that comes from just sticking it down. Just pick it and stick it and keep on going. Keep on trucking. Do your thing. You know? But I really do, I like, and I haven't done scrapbooking in kind of a while now, but it's a tool that I like to use because it's a great jumping off place where you can say, I'm going to do it like she did, but then you can deviate, you know, from whatever the example was. But it's a great way to just get yourself started. If you're like, what should I do next? It's great to just use an example and then you make a kid from it so there we go. I kind of dig that. Okay, so I really want to mimic Celeste's original layout though and get some more layers in here. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use some of these papers from over here. So let's go ahead and do that now. And we have this lovely map paper. I love it. So I'm just going to cut some of this out. And kind of just extend that. So now everything you do over here, it doesn't have to be all symmetrical, but I do think I like that. I just want to build this up a little bit. But that's probably about all I want to do as far as making it any wider. So we just want to bring this over under the photo. Great. Okay. And then you can just kind of play with what do you think looks good. And so I'm cutting this little strip of stamps. Oops, that didn't stay down. Oh, I probably don't want that, actually. Okay. So let's just bring in a little bit of that red, a little bit more in there. This says wander, but we're also wondering in this particular, like the theme of this is we're wondering, why are we celebrating the whalers? Why is there a whole museum about whaling when we like whales? We don't want whales to die. So it is still a question. I still have that question. Okay, so here we go. I think that's about where I would like this. And then remember and I don't really feel like I have enough of those layers. I still feel like I would like some more layers. So let's try to work on that just a little bit. I'm just hand cutting these. And I'm just playing with where they're going to go. I'm not sure I really want that there. That might go down here. Or maybe we'll get another strip of these things to go down there. Which I'm kind of keeping it symmetrical, I know. Let's try this. Underneath. Yeah, I do like that. So one of these days maybe I'll create the videos where I have everything all ready to go. But I really kind of think and I think there's a fair amount of you that like it when I'm making it on the fly. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. Okay, so let's get some Pop Dots, and then, oh, just looking at this. Nope, not going to use that. This is, maybe I will. This is some tape that has, different little sayings. And I guess they repeat themselves. That might be cute up there. Or something like that. I don't think I actually want to use one of those. Okay. So let's Pop Dot this up. And I think the whale might also be the place where I'm going to put the title. And I'm not exactly sure what the title is yet. So I'm going to get the Pop Dots first. Oops. Oh, I found some more. Oops. Found some more. These are just kind of calling to me. Ooh, especially that one of them has the arrows. And the arrows for this layout are kind of going to be like harpoons for whales. It is such a weird little like culture that we in New Bedford we really celebrated whaling, except that we love whales. So I don't really know how we reconcile those two things. Which kind of gives me an idea for the title, like, you know, like that idea of as you're growing up and she's growing up, like, not everything is so black and white anymore. Like, there's shades of gray, and you can look at something two different ways. I'm not sure if that's going to work in or not. What's the word I'm looking for? I wish you could answer me. There's a word, like, you know, it's like a little conflicted. Okay. So let's call this the conflicted whale. So that's pop dotted up, so it's just off the page just a little bit. And we're close to being done with this, and then we'll start on 2 more pages after this. So can we add any of these? I wish there was a question in this, and I don't see one. Okay, so the thinking like where to put the embellishments, and that might not be kind of where they end up, but I would say here, here, and here for the buttons. Yes? Okay. And or I could put the title up here. Let's see about those stickers that I brought in. I like the idea of using arrows, but I'm not exactly sure where those are going to go either. Oh, so conflicted. Okay. Oh, and there's also, this is interesting, the yes please and no thank you. And there's a person like right behind her that I would kind of like to cover up. And I'm not sure if I really want to do that or not. So I don't know. I should have photoshopped that little person out, but I think I won't draw more attention to it. Or I could kind of. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, people. That's okay. The point is just keep going. Trust the process. You'll get there. I'll get there too. Okay. Yeah, I'm really, I'm a little stuck, and I wish I could bring in more layers, and I don't know why I'm having such a problem with that. But now I'm thinking that a white, title up here might be good over that blue. Or let's just write over the whale, conflicted. And I know I'm not using, because I really think this is now too big, this font. Yep. It might not be too big if I do it up here. So if I wanted to write the word conflicted, let's just see. Conflicted. The middle letter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be, I think that L and the I. And she's got a polka dotted sweater, my polka dotted sweater on in this picture, so that kind of works. I know the yellow kind of comes out of nowhere. Oops, where's my little conflicted? So when you make a page kit, it's totally fine to go off your page kit, but try to stick with it. Like, try to trust that process of, you know, just using what you initially thought you were going to use. And see how you know, just try it. Conflicted. And so I'm kind of having these letters go behind the photo, so I think I want to move this photo just a little bit down, which means I'm going to have to move several things here. But I think something like this. C-O-N. I kind of want to keep it against that. Oops, I forgot the F. See, that's why it's good to write it down. Yep. So this is a basic gray letter set. Oh, that really goes out there, doesn't it? I don't think I centered that very well. Oh well. You know me, I'm just going to leave it. Conflicted. How do we like that? I don't think I do. I don't think it's very good. Yeah, this is something I've been doing lately is I'll stick all the letters down and then I pull them back up and I think I don't like that. So that's okay to do. And I know that you can use wax paper, and I know there's a lot of tricks to doing the titles, but I think there's also a certain amount of okayness with just sticking it down and then figuring out you don't like it, because then you have to really commit to I don't like it, because it takes you more time to pull them all up. I really think I want the stark white in the title, if I'm going to do it up there, to tie in with this whale. And almost there. So I'm going to diverge from divergence. There's a whole thing on the Get It Scrapboards about convergence and divergence. But I'm going to diverge and get some white letters, or that might work too. I don't think that's going to be enough contrast. I think just white. Let's try, let's try, let me see. Got these letters. Those seem kind of big. But I have a lot of them, so that could maybe work. And I have also some other basic grade letters that are smaller, or I've got these kind of typewriter-y looking. Let's try those. And what I really want is I like a lot of contrast between my title and, okay, these are, I kind of like these. These are polka dotted, and she does have polka dots on, and that brings some of the other colors in. So let's try that. And I still kind of want to line it up along this. Oops. Yeah, this is the part of the video where you should just fast forward. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you think I should like tighten these up time-wise. or if you like them long, because I could do it either way. Oops, now I need another C and I don't have it. I'm going to try to make a G into a C, and I think that will work. So I'm just going to take off the stuff that makes it a G on the end here. And round that off. And I think that'll look like a C. Okay. Conflicted. Yeah, let me know. Do you want shorter videos? Because like a lot of my video is just like me going, I'm not sure what to do. Which I don't think can be all that interesting. Although I do like the concept of you seeing that I don't have a plan and I keep going, and there's conflicted. Okay, I'm not totally in love with the title. Okay. I'm thinking I would like to add like a little bit more to that title. Like, I remember being conflicted too. Something like that. Because I do remember having that same kind of feeling that she is feeling. And also, you know, she's a young lady and just there's all sorts of changes that are going on in her life now that maybe she's excited about, maybe she's not so excited about. And I remember feeling conflicted about a lot of things at that age. So let's get out some tiny letters. And I have a little drawer called Small Letters. Ta-da. And I'm just going to write something I remember feeling conflicted too. So I want to start with feeling and then I'll go back. So I think just to keep this a little bit shorter, I'm going to fill those in and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm working on my title, and the things that I've done is I put the date and you and me up here. Even though I'm not pictured, this is from my perspective, and the journaling is going to be about what I remember. And so it says, I can remember feeling conflicted just like you. And then, you know how whales have a spout. So these are spouting out of the whale's holes, which would probably be here, but oh well. And then I'm going to write Whaling Museum over the whale. And it's just been my thing lately to do more than one place for a title. I can't really tell you why, but I just felt like doing like more than one place for a title. Like, that's my new thing. I don't know why. It's not a thing. It's not a good design. It's just, I don't know. I'm just really, it's been my thing lately. So I'm just going to put these, and I'm going to expect that it's going to take up most of the space. So I am going to put it right over that whale. And I hope I'm spelling whaling right. I think it's W-H-A-L-I-N-G. Let me just double check that using my iPad or my iPhone. Okay. Whaling Museum. Yep, that's right. And if I was very clever, I would take a little ephemera that I got from the trip and put it on here, but I don't think I'm going to be that clever today. And I'm also really, I haven't made sure that I have enough space or enough letters. We'll see, right? Whaling. I really don't this is my thing lately. This more than one place for a title, but it just is. So I need to write museum, and I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough space with these letters. So I could write them in those smaller Tim Holtz letters. I could also write down, these are some of my new favorite letters. They're Jenny Bolin, and I've just been using them like crazy. I love them. I got them at a scrapbooking sale at my local scrapbook store, and my advice is if you ever like happen upon a sale and you think like, oh, I like those letters, just buy them up, because you'll use them again and again, and like I do. Okay, museum. So we're just going to cut down the M just a little bit so it fits a little better. There we go. Does that look too weird? A little weird. I don't care. So I'm also thinking I want to write New Bedford underneath this, just to bring in those letters there, and to kind of bring this in. I want to just see if I can scooch this under up here. So we just have a little bit of a detail, and I might bring that in one other place. I'm not sure. Maybe underneath here. If I can pull that up. So it kind of brings your eye to, this is where I'm writing. So I can, and then I'll need another one of these, maybe somewhere down here. But I don't want to make it look like the whale is taking a turd. Maybe I'll put it right here, and then I'm going to kind of like end my journaling down here, and that will say Love Mom. So there I've got 3. I think that's going to be alright. Okay, so we need those little stickers again. And so I'm just going to pause again while I put those on, just because I don't want this to go forever. I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to actually use those black letters again. Or maybe I will, but I'm not going to use them completely. So I have these other letters by Cosmo Cricket, and I just think they'll be a little bit lighter because they're see-through. And they'll bring in that red color because I've got the red color going on in a lot of different places here. New Bedford. And then I'm going to get to my journaling, and then maybe a couple doodads, and then we'll be done with this. And then we'll have two more pages, which I think are probably going to be on a separate video. Just because I think I've gone on way too long. I will try to have something a little bit more put together for the next one. Although I kind of thought I had something put together. I don't know, maybe I won't. But definitely leave a comment to tell me whether you like the real time or whether you'd rather have the videos be a little bit more concise. I'm not sure if I'll change my ways based on that, but I'd just be interested to know. Do you real time or more concise? I'm curious what you think. Okay, so there's New Bedford, and I don't think there's a comma here. So let's do we'll do like a Mass, M-A-S-S for Massachusetts. Oh, we're going to cut these down just a little bit too. so they're not as large as they are up on the top. Boy, I'm really using up these letters. I only have a couple more T's in this little letter sticker sheet that I just love so much. It's Tim Holtz and it's called Label Letters. And I've used the heck out of these. And I got them at Joann's, and I haven't been to Joann's in a really long time. I need to probably go over there and buy some more of these. Because as I remember, if they're still there, they were $1.99, and I definitely got my money's worth out of those. Okay. Alrighty. I kind of like that. So there we go. And then I just want to put something else down here. And I think I'm going to write love and then mom. And usually I will write that, but I think just to do the craziness that I've been doing lately with all of the, you know, just the title going all over the page. And again, I don't really know what's up with that. I just know, like, lately, that's just what I've been, I don't know, I've been just drawn to do that. And so if you feel like I should do that, and I don't know why, and it's not a good design rule, go for it anyways, because something, I don't know, I think you should just do it. Alright, and then we'll do this little love. Now, I didn't use my buttons, and I think I want to. So this love mom. And then when I write love mom, I usually will do a little heart. So I think I can get that in there. Yes? Okay. So I am going to write in this blue, and I'll just go ahead and do that now. Halfway through the museum, oops, you stopped to ask, wait a minute, is this about the whales or the people who killed them? And I can remember, I remember having that same conflicted feeling, and many other conflicted feelings at your age of 10, almost 11, wanting to grow up, but also wanting to stay a kid. So many new areas of gray where there was once black and white. Okay. I think that's about it. Let's just see if we can pop some of these on to the page for embellishments. Now these are buttons that do not include string, and I guess they're on a pop dot, but they're not staying on a pop dot, so I'll have to to put new pop dots on there. So I'm thinking here, oh, that one actually stayed on. But I'm wondering if I should put some string through these, because sometimes you'll see, sometimes people online will say like, oh, I can't stand the buttons if they don't have string through them. So I don't know. Do I need a string? Do I not need a string? Okay, so if we kind of had a triangle of I still don't want to put really anything under the whale because I feel like it's going to make it look like the whale is pooping, which I don't want to do. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so maybe here? I don't know. I'm not sure we need them. I was also thinking that maybe we'll bring those arrows back. Let's take a look at those for a second. Oh. And as I was putting that other one back, I saw this and was thinking maybe a clock could go on there. Maybe, I don't know. I don't use the chipboard nearly enough. I have a lot of it. Do you find you have a supply that you just don't make enough use out of? This could maybe go. Or not. Okay, well, on the next page we'll use a chipboard element. Maybe I can get this little heart. Oh, the heart can go right up here. Perhaps. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe right here. It's just a little something to give a little bit of interest. And there's nothing shiny on this page. So let's see if we can accomplish something shiny. So just, there we go. So here's the page, and I just feel like it needs a little bit more of something. So let's try the arrow so I can remember. How do we like that there? Not really? I know. Conflicted just like you. Oh, there's smaller arrows too. Okay, and then I'm just going to try this little trick that I've never tried before, but I think will work. If you have an arrow that's too long, just cut the little end part of it off, and then, oh, is that working? And then you can shorten it up if you wanted to. I don't think I'm actually, I don't think I've done it. Okay. We're getting like way too long and boring. Yes. Maybe. Oh goodness. Okay, I promise the next one will be better. Hold on. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So this one would say, yes, I can remember. And then we get this little like, no thank you. How's that? I don't know. I think I'm done though. Yeah, sometimes you can just beat something to death. And that's kind of where I'm feeling like I'm going now. Let me just get a little bit of something. Remember, I wanted to put, just a little something down here. Scooch that under. I know it's not a big change, but okay, so I'm almost done here. So we're going to do 2 more pages with this little kit that I've created, and there will be 2 more pages that are inspired by the Get It Scrap product play. But this is the page that I'm going to call done, even though there's nothing shiny on there. Let's just put one little star. How about right up here? Maybe there's a, oh, maybe I have a shiny little heart. I do. Okay. So there's going to be a shiny little heart up there. Just so there should be something shiny, I would say, on your pages. It just makes a little tiny bit of difference. I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile to make a tiny little hole up there for the brad. Because, you know, you should put a brad on it. Right, Debbie Hodge? Yes, okay. And when I put brads on things, I like to turn that over and just put some tape on the back. And usually I'll just use regular tape. But since I don't see any of that handy, I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape so that when I slide it into my page protector, it's not going to catch on the other sheet. So there you go. Ta-da! Okay, thanks for watching. I'm Katie Scott, and you can expect 2 more pages with this same page kit. I'll be back. So just check for the next video that's uploaded to YouTube. Okay, bye.